Hello and welcome. Today is 8th of February 2024. It's just 2 days before the Lunar New Year. So most of the work and everything should be done by today. But technically, I already taken my leave because I have to take care of my family matters and personal matters myself. But I also took the opportunity to collect my items from a local auction house. Normally, I do auction houses purchase or bidding mostly in online. Rarely I do it collection from local bidding in the local ones. Most of the time I get it rare items or difficult to acquire items. Most of it I get it from overseas auction house, just because they are least aggressive, I would say, because it's economic wise, because the the things that I wanted and a bit is still around 50% of the value I'm paying from the actual fair value of the pro of the banknotes or currency. So I save quite a number of money, saving like 50% or 40%. Sometimes those very rare, probably 5% I would save, or break even. Hardly it will be going over the top. Where else the my country's local auction house, most of it tend to break even or go overboard. The reason of it is because most of the local auction house and the people who are bidding, just like me, I have to admit, we study very detailed and careful on the items that we want to bid, knowing the fair market value, knowing how much the current value or the past performance, is it lucrative for investment. And a lot of the bidders are not collectors, are mostly investors. They're buying notes so that they can keep it in a few years they will resell it for a profit. So I wouldn't blame them. You know, it's a fair game for everyone who wants to bid on items. You know, sometimes I feel unfair, but it is what it is. It's a fair market. Anyone can buy, so long you're able to pay for it. So today I'm actually wanted to present something that I have a bid in one of my local auction house. I wouldn't say that auction house at the moment, but yeah, I got that from my local auction house, and I collected it. I paid for it. Um, yeah, I paid for it, and yeah, it still costs me almost a saving of about 10% from the market value. But I actually determined trying to get this note, at least one denomination of it, just because of that. So it is Bank of Canada, 1954, $20. Now this one is very uniquely, specifically is that's what I would say. I always wanted it is the Devil's Face version. Of course, if you're a Canadian banknote collector, you would know why it is called the Devil's Face. For the record, for myself, in case I forget or forgotten, my future self, the hair behind of the late Queen Elizabeth II, the hair at the back, this one, because of the shadow and the lighting of the hair floor, it looks like a face of a devil. It's like it's not saying it's a devil's face. It's saying that it is as another face, but having another face over a person. Look, at that time they call it as a devil appearing into the person's body or whatever. So basically, the intaglio here, the vignette here, sorry, the vignette here, the hair is having the shape of a face of a devil. You can see there's the horn, the eyebrow, the nose, and the mouth right here. So you can imagine it. So at that time, a lot of the Canadians were thinking this note is has as a secret message is a devil. Now, how much I bought this one? Well, I got it almost a fair value of the note, so it's about 300. That's about 350 300 ringgit, yeah. So it's worth for its value. If anything higher grading above like 40 would already jump to 500 to 600 ringgit. Definitely I didn't want to pay for that such amount of money, so I got a fair bit of good grade, 35. I actually wanted to have at least one denomination. I was thinking of getting this one in probably 10 or $5, but in that auction at that time they don't have that denomination. The smallest denomination was 20, and looking at the price and the bidding, they were almost same value. So I just saved about 5 or 10% from the face value that is recommended by the guidebook or the catalogs from the catalogs, standard catalog for world paper money. So this is the thing that I wanted to collect, at least one denominator. I didn't wanted to consider to collect this one in a full set, which I normally have the habit to do that, but I have to tell myself this one just impossible to get all the sets, because the $1,000 Canadian for the devil's face, forget it. It's like 20-30,000 US dollar. No way that I can collect focus all my my hobbies finance into pouring for that banknote, unless somebody giving it to me. Now that would be even better for me, in somebody giving me as a present, or so you never know, it could happen. But anyway, signed by J.R. Betty, if I pronounce it correctly, J.R. Betty and J.E. Conan. So Bertie is the deputy governor and Conan is the governor. So, and I like Canadian banknotes for in particular is they have dual language on the banknote. Most majority of the country they have a single language banknote, and like even if it's a single language, is the national language of the country, but to be more international, as they call it, to be more international, they had to incorporate the majority of the so-called lingua franca of the speaking world, which is the Anglo-Saxons English. The English is so-called the world's lingua franca, right? It's not the mother tongue, but it's widely spoken for economic benefits. Having United States as the world power in economic, former colonies, majority of them, the population are under British, which is the British native language is English. So English was naturally worldwide, understandably, the language to be spoken for business. So you'll find a lot of countries that have English on their as for economic purposes, but the national language still prevail. Now, Canadians is a little bit different, because Canadians have to accommodate not for the international reason, but because of their country itself as a confederation. If I'm not mistaken, that Canada is a confederation or federation, if I'm not mistaken. I wouldn't want to confirm anything on that because I'm not Canadian. But at least I do know that Quebec is very strongly French uh, influence. So the lingua franca is French in Quebec, specifically like a city like Montreal. Whereas the other parts of Canada is more widely spoken in English because they were colonized by the British. The French were the first arrived in Quebec. Hence the word Quebec actually is more French word, and Montreal is more French word than English. Ottawa is more native language. Most of the British tend to name the places relate to the native indigenous people words. Uh, so so with that, uh, as with that, they have two different kind of lingua franca, English and French Canadian. Their politics in parliaments, the government systems, and so forth require them to have dual language, French and English, or more specifically, Canadian French and English. So it also, again, with that in mind, and politics, and also it's a structured system of social, economic, and social order of their country. The banknotes, again, this is one of the reasons why I personally love collecting banknotes and currency, because the banknotes and currency was used as a tool or represent what it is being done in politics, economic, and social side. So banknote like this tells the same story that I just spoken. They have English, they have French. Bank of Canada, Banque du Canada, Deputy Governor, US Governor, Governor. They have English and the French language side by side. $20, dollars in Canadian, in French Canadian language, and the back is again numeric Arab numerical, English and French. Same thing, English and French. English and French. And I just put the other way around for this part. So that is a significant part of Canada's banknotes. They have dual language because they are treated equal in the country of Canada itself internally. Although externally people would think Canada speaks English, yes, because they were former British colony. The head of state in Canada is, or formerly was, Queen Elizabeth II. Now is King Charles III. So that is a significant part of Canadian banknotes that I would like to remind myself what is so unique, or everyone else, in my perspective, what is so unique about Canadian dollars. And beyond that, or more like, let's talk about more specific on this banknote. It is my first and only, and probably the last note that I would pay for ambitious of my collection, to have at least the devil's face, because it's very difficult to find a devil's face in a very cheap cost to me. This is the one I found an opportunity, I get it, I try and manage to win. Almost have a slight discount, not much. That was a very lucky. I was thinking I would never get. It's a $20. It's not talking about $5 or $10, which is even far cheaper and within my budget. This is nearly bursting my balls. It was nearly bursting my financial balls, but it's still within my budget that I've targeted, so I got it. What else could I say about this? Probably the serial number is a low serial number, almost low, just 7,062. But the most important thing about this note is the devil's face here. the devil's face. At least it is graded, so I do not need to think too much about its condition and so forth, or guessing or anything like that. But yeah, there it is. So that is all for today. Only one note brand new. I have other notes to show, but they are actually just my old collection that I need to re-archive most of them. So eventually, I have to do that. So there will be more videos coming on during the Lunar Chinese New Year week, from Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I probably have time to reorganize and revisit all my banknote, and probably I'll do some video to archive my collections once again. Some of them are in the album that I have cataloged them properly. Some of them I have not cataloged them properly because I just don't have enough space to put in the album. So as for today, that's it from me, and I'll see again. Do subscribe if you like to see more of my future's content. Even though, again, I will say this is a content personally for me, just in case I forget in the future of myself. At least this video serves as a library and an archive of my collection. How much I bought, how much the value is, what I've bought, what do I kept, and so forth, etc. And also as a platform not just only store my video, but also to share with people who want to see what kind of banknotes out there from like a bit more international, something that they had never seen, something that probably they want to know. So sharing is caring, as I would say. Again, if you would like to see a future content, subscribe, give me a like, view it as much as you want, and hope you enjoy it. I'm not desperate for viewing. Again, this is for my personal use, but I am willing to share and have opinions. If any comments, to share opinions, whether I'm wrong or whether I'm right, or some additional information, that would be great. So again, once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.